Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. I am still running behind, but I'm trying to catch up. That's why I'm cooking really late, among other things. Anyway, so I am up to passion fruit and orange trifles. I was going to cook these last night, but shit went down. So, okay, this is what we need. There's not much to it, but there's a little bit of preparation. Come over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so 1.5 cups of orange juice was actually 3 oranges juiced, and I've popped it through the strainer because we don't want the pulp. The passion fruit, I could not get 8, so I brought a tin. I'm just going to call that 8. Half of it I had to strain through anyway. We're getting rid of the seeds. Seems a shame, but it is what it is. Silly me was in a state of, I don't know where I was. 400 mils of 450 mils of double cream. I've only got 300 mils. That's going to do. And I've got 100 grams extra, no, 50 grams extra of sponge finger biscuits. I could not get those in Woolworths. I had to go to Coles for those. So yeah, we're going to make these as they are. Get 4 ramekins, a saucepan to do the juicy syrup stuff, and it will just have less cream, but who cares because it'll still taste awesome. Alright, let's get it on. Okay, so just finished giving the pulp of the orange juice a bit of a stir. You can use bottled orange juice if you want, but I can guarantee you that the flavour's not going to be as good as if you actually squeeze oranges. And FYI, all it took was 3 oranges to make 1.5 cups of orange juice, so it's not bad. Buy a bag and eat some oranges and feel healthy, technically. Okay, so grab a small saucepan. We're going to put the 1/2 cup of caster sugar in. And then just add a little bit of the juice, because what we're going to do is we're going to start and stir this over heat because we're making a syrup. So eventually all that juice in. Try and not splash it like I just did then. Once that is coming to the boil, we're going to turn it down and we're going to simmer it for 8 minutes, and then we're going to transfer it to a bowl. So let's go. Okay, now it's boiling. I'm going to put the timer on, simmer for 8 minutes, and then we're going to put it into a large bowl. Now it does need a bit longer because it's not thick, so I've turned it up a little bit. I'm going to give it about another 5 minutes, but in the meantime we're going to do the cream. Okay, so that passion fruit pulp that we strained earlier plus our imaginary 450 mils of double cream are going together. Stupid not reading my shopping list. That's what that was about. Alright, in she goes. It'll be fine. So technically it's 1.5 of these. So when you go to buy your double cream, don't reach for 1, reach for 2. And then you can use the rest of your double cream for other stuff. Like my previous recipe for the apple flan. Alright, I am going to try and get every bit out of this, only because we're so low on what we need. Okay, if you're walking away from your syrup because you haven't got all day to wait for it, just remember to have eyes in the back of your head and keep checking it every now and again. Especially if you turn it up like I did, because it could just bubble straight over. And at this time of night, I don't really feel like cleaning it up. Alright, get your balloon whisk. Just mix that in. And it says to use 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. However, given the fact that I don't have the correct amount of cream and I'm using passion fruit pulp, not fresh passion fruit, I'm just going to go with 1 tablespoon. Oh, and you have to sift this as well. So that means I've got to find a sieve that's not in my kitchen sink. Okay, I'll be back when I find one. Okay, I'm back. I just got it out of the sink. Orange juice pulp is out of it. So, ideally, if you want to be smart, while you're straining the said passion fruit, put it in with that. It's all going to go through. It's all going to end up in the same pot anyway. So you learn something new every day. I've also got to hope that not too much of this gets stuck. Oh, and while I was sort of waiting around as well, I also weighed out the 250 grams of the biscuits, so I have a few to eat later. Alright, so that's looking good. That is the passion fruit cream. The rest of the tin, or the 4 passion fruit, are going on top. We've got our biscuits, we've got our bowl for when our syrup's ready. We're on to it. Okay, so once you're convinced enough that your syrup will do the job, I mean, let's face it, all it's going to do is go into biscuits anyway, so that should do. Leave it set for 5 minutes just so it can cool down a bit, because otherwise you're going to put your biscuits in and they're going to disintegrate. So we'll be back in 5. Okay, so after 5 minutes we are going to get half of the sponge finger biscuits and dip them and then put them into our ramekins. So in they go. We're probably only going to get 1 per ramekin. But the good thing is though that they are actually going to smush in here. That's the good thing about these sponge finger biscuits. They do smush in. So be prepared to get a knife to cut them. And I'm putting an extra one in so that I can cut it in half. Because obviously no one's got square containers. All containers are round. Well, not all of them. Ideally, if you can do this with a sponge. Thinking of SpongeBob SquarePants. If you can do this with a square one, then go for it, because it will probably be easier for you. If not, you're going round. So do it like this. There we go. Look at that. Easy. Cut it in half. Okay. So that's that part done. Then grab a spoon. We're going to spoon the cream over the top next. Just a spoon in each one. Try and spread it out if you can, because don't forget we are missing like half of what we should have. I'll put a bit more in, who cares? But spread it out as you go. Then on top of that, we are going to put some of the rest of the passion fruit. Look, if you can get fresh passion fruit, go for it, because you're not going to have as much pulp in it, but they are quite expensive. But I would go with the fresh is best theory on this one. Alright, grab the rest of these sponge finger biscuits, and I'm going to do it a bit quicker. My suggestion is just chuck them all in. Dunk them under. Alright, chuck one on each. And then do the same with the last ones. So it is a good idea to have an even amount. Obviously different brands are different sizes, but as I said, for some reason, coming up for Christmas, they don't want you to be able to get these biscuits. And I normally always buy the same ones in Woolworths all the time. If I make tiramisu, which I don't think I've made tiramisu since I've started this cooking show. Wow, that'll be a shock when I do. That's a good one, tiramisu. Well, we'll get to it anyway. I really do try not to double up on everything now that I'm showing everyone how to cook, so that way you're not going to think, oh, all she does is cook this. So, yeah. Alright, so that is that. Grab the rest of the cream. See, we would have had too much cream anyway, so as I said, I've probably done me a favour. Who knows? So just divide that up. Maybe the ramekins are a bit too small. I don't really remember how big these ramekins are. But the recipe suggests to use 4 by 1.5 cup capacity. And I think these are at least 1.5 cups. I mean, they don't look small. And I cook all sorts of things in these ramekins. They're really good. Alright. Whack the rest of the passion fruit on top. Now, these need to refrigerate for 4 hours until you can eat them. So, good to do them for overnight, or do them in the morning if you want them for dessert. Alright. Thanks for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen, passion fruit and orange trifles. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to catch you next time. Hopefully try and be a bit more constant with the cooking. See how we go. All right, take care. Bye.